Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV with your NCAA basketball top 25 preview for this Saturday, February the 26th. Last Saturday of February, 1 week away from start of some of the conference tournaments, 2 weeks away from all the major conference tournaments, and just 3 weeks away, less than 3 weeks away from the NCAA tournament. March Madness is around the corner. It hits us next week. Let's take advantage and make some money in college basketball this week as we continue to build our bankroll here at the end of February. Once again, there are 4 top 25 matchups for this Saturday afternoon and night. We've got you staggered afternoon through the evening. 4 national TV games, 4 top 25 matchups going at 2, 4, 8, and 10 p.m. Eastern Saturday. So whether you're joining us early or late, not too late to get some great information. I'm going to give you my power ratings on all 4 games. We're going to look at where the lines opened initially on Friday night and where they might move. I'm also going to give you matchup analysis for all 4 of these games free for you right here on Wager Talk TV. Quick reminder, nobody has won more money in college basketball the past 2 years since I joined WagerTalk.com. I've won over 80 units of profit in college basketball, 5-1 the past 4 days alone as we head into the weekend. That's an 83% run. 18-9, 67% the past 2.5 weeks in college hoops. And now's the time to play. I have a huge card for Saturday. If you want my best bets for Saturday, if you want to build that bankroll, go get them right now, wagertalk.com. We have 1 day, 3 day, 7-day passes, of course, as always. But the best way to make money is to save money on that initial investment. And now is the time to get the rest of the college basketball season. It's normally $279. However, I've got a special promo code for this weekend, which gets you over a 37% discount and gets it down to just $177. Hoop 177, HOOP 177, Hoop 177 gets you the rest of the college basketball season through the NCAA tournament finals in April for just $177, lowest price of the year from the number 1 ranked college basketball capper, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. All right, let's look at the 4 biggest matchups this Saturday, February the 26th in college hoops. First game goes at 2 o'clock Eastern on actually, this one's on CBS. The next 3 are on ESPN, but the first one's on CBS at 2 o'clock Eastern, and that's Kentucky at Arkansas. Now, I'm going to give you my power ratings and also where the line opened on Friday night. I'm doing this video on Friday evening as we head into the weekend. One major offshore book comes up before everybody, and the lines move fast, and then, of course, the rest of the world opens a few hours later. We saw Arkansas open at Pick'em and instantly get moved up to -2 within a few minutes on Friday evening. And that's interesting because my power ratings favored the Razorbacks by Pick'em at home. It really didn't favor anybody, right? It's a Pick'em. Arkansas Pick'em is where I made this line. That's exactly where it opened. But the early money on Friday evening quickly came in on Arkansas and moved it up to -2. The total hopped around 147 to 146 up to 147.5. So it should be a fairly high-scoring game, obviously. One reason I love handicapping college basketball in late February is because we're nearing the end of conference action. We're going to get some last home games this weekend in the mid-major conferences. Not so much here in the top 25 teams. They'll be playing their last home games next week. But we, of course, have a lot of revenge angles that work in these games. This game, there's not a revenge motive. In fact, this is the first time they've played this season. Kentucky's a team that's been a little bit shorthanded. We talked about them here on the video last week. Ty Washington missed a few games. They continue to play well, though. They're a very young and talented lineup. They were losing to LSU at halftime on Wednesday night, down by like it was 7 to 9 points. Came back and won by 5, but failed to cover. They were up by actually as much as 14 mid-second half. So they really turned it on in the second half against LSU. We'll see if that momentum carries now on the road against Arkansas. Razorbacks always have a strong home court, and that is definitely the case once again this year. Arkansas 15-1 straight up at home this season. 10-6 against the spread, but obviously when the lines pick them to -2, that 15-1 straight up record does jump out to you. And they're in excellent current form here. Really an underrated team. They have quietly covered 9 straight in 12 of their last 13. Arkansas's 12-1 straight up in ATS their last 13 games. And that's probably one of the reasons we saw this line quickly go from pick'em to -2 on Friday night when it opened. Don't see that game goes at 2 o'clock Eastern on CBS. Going to stick in the SEC for Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, Auburn at Tennessee. Another situation here when these teams have not played this season, and we'll see how it plays out here. This is a one and done as far as the head-to-head. The SEC is so big now, these teams don't play the home and homes like they used to always do. As a handicapper, I wish they did. I love having those first meetings to dig into the box scores. Next two games we're talking about after this are revenge setups, so we'll have some information for the night games. But let's look at this other afternoon SEC game on Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern. And this is a Tennessee team that was very good to me and my clients last year. I mentioned number one at WagerTalk.com the past 2 years combined in college hoops. One of the reasons we won over 80 units during the past 2 years is we went 8-3 last year when using the Tennessee Volunteers. Now, haven't used them much this season, but that doesn't mean they're not still a solid team. In fact, 20-7, 15-11 against the spread. But talk about strong home courts. Perfect 14-0 straight up at home this season. Now, they do have Arkansas at home next week, so this is not a last home game situation. They're coming off an impressive 19-point road win at Missouri. They're catching a Auburn team that was number one just about a week ago. They lost at Florida as a favorite. They, of course, lost at Arkansas a few games back. So they fell from that number one ranking recently, and they're just 3-2 straight up their last five, and they're just 2-4 against the spread the last six. So it does appear like the betting markets are starting to catch on to Auburn. Auburn likes to play fast, one of the fastest paces in the country. Tennessee is at a mid-pace team, very good defensive team once again. And one thing Tennessee does extremely well is force turnovers. Auburn, though, pretty good at taking care of the ball. This line opened 2, and it went quickly to 3.5. So once again, just like the Arkansas game, we've seen this line move a couple points. The early money is coming on the home teams, Arkansas and Tennessee, moving them a full basket. Makes sense. Arkansas and Tennessee combined 29-1 straight up at home this year. But just like the Arkansas game, my power ratings were right in line with the opening number. My power ratings made the line 2, opened 2, quickly went to 3.5. Total did not move much, opened 139, went to the 139.5 mark. And once again, we're doing this on Friday night. Only a couple books have opened worldwide. We'll have more information as we head into Saturday morning. But once again, a little bit of early money on Arkansas and Tennessee. My power ratings were exactly with the openers. Now the line's about a basket high on both games. Let's look at the two big night games for you here in just a moment. Quick reminder, if you want the rest of my college basketball season, now is the time to get on board because you're getting a substantial discounted price this weekend with promo code HOOP177, HOOP 177. Hoop 177 gets you the rest of college basketball the next month and a half for just $177 complete. Look, a one-day package just to get my Saturday best bets in college basketball, and it is a strong and loaded card this Saturday, is $39. You do the math and figure out how much you're going to save. Instead of just one day for $39, get the next 6+ weeks for just $177. That gets you the rest of the regular season, all the conference tournaments the next couple weeks, and then the entire NCAA tournament, the big dance, in March into early April. $177 from the number one ranked capper the past 2 years. Nobody has won more money in college basketball since I've joined WagerTalk.com 2 years ago. Over 80 units of profit. You get the rest of the season for the lowest price ever, $177 with promo code HOOP177. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. All right, let's move over to the nighttime card at 8 o'clock Eastern Saturday night. Staying on ESPN, we're going to go to the Big 12, and this is a nice little battle here. Kansas at Baylor. Jayhawks entered this game as a 2.5-point dog. A little bit short according to my power ratings. My power ratings favor Baylor, the home team, by 4 in this on a strong home court where they're 13-2 straight up this season. Once again, the line is currently opening line Friday night, 2.5. My power ratings make Baylor a 4-point favorite. Totals around 150.5 in this game. We'll look at the current form for Kansas. Very good. They're coming in off 4 straight wins, 3 straight covers. They've gone 5-2 ATS their last 7. And I think that's another reason why the line's a little bit shorter than my power ratings, because Baylor, meanwhile, has failed to cover 3 in a row, and they've gone just 2-6 ATS their last 8. So we got a Baylor team that's just 2-6 against the spread their last 8. Kansas, meanwhile, 5-2 ATS. My power ratings, which look at more seasonal numbers, favor Baylor by 4. Opening line, just 2.5, though. So you can see where I think that current form has somewhat been priced in to this game. These teams did play also earlier this month, just 3 weeks ago on Saturday, February 5th, and Baylor got blown out. Kansas beat them 83-59 at home, so it's also a huge revenge angle for Baylor. Now, revenge works best with strong home courts and quality teams, and Baylor checks both of those boxes in this game after losing by 24. Let's look at the reason why they lost by 24. First of all, they were just 7 for 27 from three-point range, 26%. Kansas, though, just 25%. So that is a little bit of a concern there that Kansas beat them so good without shooting the threes. In fact, Kansas was plus 26 points from 2-point range. So while the situational setup, the revenge angle, strong home court favors Baylor, that first matchup was not misleading as Kansas really did dominate that game on way to that 24-point victory. That game goes at 8 o'clock Eastern Saturday night on ESPN Kansas at Baylor. All right, we're going to finish with a mid-major matchup. I mean, I guess you can say it's mid-major, best team in the country, national champs, Gonzaga. But anytime it's a West Coast game, their inferior competition is definitely something they're playing here normally, except when they play St. Mary's every year. St. Mary's is usually the second best team in this conference, and St. Mary's is currently ranked 23rd. So this is a top 25 matchup. Saturday night, ESPN, 10 p.m. Eastern. Gonzaga currently opened as a 10-point favorite, and the line quickly went to minus 11. Line looks a little inflated based on my numbers. My power ratings favor Gonzaga by only 6 points. So this opening line is pretty inflated. Total quickly went from 142.5 up to 144. So early money on Friday evening came in on Gonzaga and the over here. Now, tempo will definitely be the key to this game, and it makes sense that if the early money came in on Gonzaga, that it would push the total higher. Gonzaga, as they normally do, plays extremely fast. In fact, out of 358 teams in Division I basketball, Gonzaga plays at the 6th fastest tempo in the nation this year, and that is not the case for St. Mary's, the exact opposite. The Gales play at the 335th slowest tempo out of 358 teams. Now, like I said, revenge works for home teams. It also usually helps home teams usually dictate tempo. So I do think in this rematch from an earlier meeting this season in which Gonzaga won the game by 16 at home, 74-58, St. Mary's should be able to slow it down a little bit more in their home court here. And it is not only a revenge spot, but it's a last home game angle as well. I talked about that earlier. These mid-major conferences like the West Coast, they're finishing out this week in the regular season. They got their conference tournament next week. So this is a final home game. And the reason we talk about last home games, it's senior night. It's the last home game for a lot of the seniors. Now, I know in Power 5 college basketball now that's not much of a factor because teams like Kentucky, we talked about earlier, they're one and dones, right? Or at most they stay for 2 years. But these mid-major conferences, you do have players playing usually 3 or 4 seasons. So last home game angles apply to a lot of the mid-major conferences this weekend. Pay attention to those senior-laden teams. And St. Mary's somewhat fits that bill. And they also have a strong home court and the revenge angle here. St. Mary's a perfect 15-0 straight up. So we have an undefeated home court, home underdog, revenge, and last home game, and we get some line value. Once again, my power is only favor Gonzaga by 6. The line opened 10, surprisingly went up to 11. We'll see if maybe that's a head fake. This is Friday night. Sometimes the early money comes in one way. They want to set up a bigger play on the other side. So once again, we saw early money coming in Gonzaga. See if that holds on Saturday or see if it goes back the other way before Saturday night. As far as that first meeting that I referenced, Gonzaga won by 16 at home 2 weeks ago, back on February 12th. Gonzaga does not rely heavily from three-point range or three-point shots. They were 6 for 12 in that game, 50%. St. Mary's is going to have to hit some threes. They were just 5 for 17 in the first meeting, 29%. And that is why they lost by double digits. But once again, they should perform better on that strong home court. 15-0 straight up at home this year. Key will be if they can slow down the tempo here. Could definitely make a case that the side and total are somewhat correlated. Gonzaga to the over or St. Mary's to the under. 10 o'clock Eastern Saturday night on ESPN. Hey, hope you found this video useful. We'll do it again next week as we have one more week of the regular season. Conference tournaments do start next weekend for some of these mid-majors. NCAA tournament less than 3 weeks away. Hey, look, you know you're going to watch March Madness. It's probably the best sporting event there is. It's my personal favorite. The Super Bowl is great. National championship in football is great, but it's a one and done. 3 hours, you're done. March Madness gives you 3 weeks of action. Why not make some money while you do so from the number 1 ranked college basketball capper the past 2 years combined at WagerTalk.com? Over 80 units of profit won, and it continues the next 6 weeks with the rest of this season in college hoops, and you can get it for the lowest price ever, just $177. Get you the next month and a half, the rest of college basketball from Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, but you must have promo code HOOP177, HOOP 177, HOOP 177. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Thanks for watching. As always, if you found this video useful, take 2 seconds, give it a thumbs up, give it a like. Also, make sure you're subscribed. We're getting ever so close to 100,000 subscribers right here on WagerTalk TV. And don't forget to comment below. I read each and every comment. I reply back. I appreciate the support. I love the insight. I honestly believe we have the smartest, sharpest sports bettors out there on YouTube right here on WagerTalk TV. So let me know your thoughts on the Saturday college basketball card, what you thought of these top 25 games I previewed. Hey, give me some under the radar, some other games you're looking at too for best bets this weekend on both Saturday and Sunday. And a quick reminder, I'll be guest hosting Wager Talk Today all of next week here on this network at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday with Teddy Covers. I'll be guest hosting Wager Talk Today. Be sure to check that out. Like, subscribe, and comment below. And don't forget, Hoop 177 gets you the rest of college basketball for a special discounted price, just $177. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the games, and we'll see you soon next week here on WagerTalk TV.